So, what are the 5 habits that really helped me become fluent in English within 3 months? Let's talk about that. The habits I'm going to share with you are easy and simple, but are very effective and will make you fluent if you stick with them for long enough. Without wasting any time, let's get started. The first habit is learn X amount of words per day. Vocabulary is super important. The number one reason you're not fluent in English is probably because you don't know a lot of words. The more words you know, the more fluent your conversations will be. I get asked a lot of questions about, Asim, how did you improve your vocabulary? How do you remember the words you learn? I'm going to reveal the secret to you finally. There are 3 rules that I think are essential when it comes to learning vocabulary. The first one is that don't learn and memorize random words from a dictionary. Instead, learn words in context. Here is what I mean by that. A lot of people tell me the best way to improve vocabulary is to open up a dictionary and memorize 5 to 10 new words every single day from the dictionary, and after 3 or 4 or 6 months they will have learned vocabulary. But this is the biggest mistake I see a lot of people making. Don't do that. It's a very stupid way of learning vocabulary. You're kind of memorizing and cramming up vocabulary, which might help you in the short term, but after a few months you will forget most of those words. So instead of memorizing random words from a Google list or from a dictionary, learn words in context. The second rule is write words down. When you're listening or reading and you hear a new word or a new phrase that you don't understand, don't just think to yourself that you will remember it. Oh, I just learned it and I'll remember it. It's in my head. I'll remember it in conversations. No, you won't. You need to write that word down somewhere, whether it's in your phone, whether it's on a physical page. Personally, I had a really small physical notebook that I would carry in my pocket, and every time I would come across a new word, I would write it down immediately in my notebook so that I don't forget it. The third rule is use the vocabulary you learn in conversations. If you don't use the vocabulary you learn, you will lose it. If you don't use the words you learn, you lose them. Learn X amount of words per day. The X could be anything. I recommend learning between 5 to 10 new words. More than 10 is a lot. Less than 5 is not that much. So I would recommend 7 or 8 words every single day. The second habit is to speak with an online friend. Speak in practice is essential for your fluency. That's why it must be done daily. Speaking is important for remembering and not forgetting your vocabulary. It helps you practice your pronunciation. It also helps you practice your grammar rules. Speaking practice is one of those things that you cannot be missing. You have to do it if you want to learn the language. If you don't want to learn it, you don't care about it, that's okay. But if you decided to learn English and you want to become fluent, you have to practice speaking. Whenever I mention speak in practice, I get a lot of questions like, Asim, how do I practice my speaking and how do I find someone who I can practice my English speaking with, because I don't have anybody. I'm kind of alone. I'm learning English online. I don't have any friends. I'm going to share with you the secrets. I call this the 3 levels of speak in practice. No matter which level you're at, you will find a way to practice your English speaking. The first level is to talk with yourself. Listen, if you're a beginner in English, if you started learning English a week ago or a month ago or maybe 2 months ago, I think the best way for you to practice your speaking is to talk with yourself. That's what I did as well for the first 3 months of my English learning journey. I didn't talk to anybody because I was too shy. I was really nervous. My English was not that good. I was okay, if I talk with someone else, I'm gonna get embarrassed. So what I did was I would sit in front of a mirror every single evening. I would lock my room door and I would start speaking English with myself for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, sometimes even more. It really gave me the confidence to talk to a real person. Level 2 is to speak with AI. Speak with ChatGPT, speak with Siri or Alexa or whatever. They are great for practice, and also you will be more confident because you know that they will not judge you because they're robots literally. Plus you can ask them to correct your mistakes if you make any while speaking, which is great for feedback. Level Level 3 is to speak with a real person. If you don't live in an English speaking country, what I would recommend you to do is go on platforms like Free for Talk or Hello Talk. Both of them are free, and just make an account there and start speaking English. Eventually, after doing it like for a few weeks, you will make some friends, and that's how you will practice your English speaking. So practice every day at least for 30 minutes to an hour. The next habit is to write your thoughts in a journal. This is another habit that will drastically improve your English. I really believe in this idea. Don't be an English learner, be an English user. And that's really helpful in a lot of situations. When you think you're just an English learner, you do things, you do habits that sometimes improve your English, and sometimes they are like a waste of time. But when you believe that you're an English user, you use English to improve your life. So you get two benefits. You improve your English in the process, and you also improve your life. In this case, your mental health. When I was an intermediate English learner, I tried journaling. I followed like a 60-day journaling period where every single day I would write one page in my journal. That improved my writing skills a lot. In terms of fluency, it helped me think more clearly in conversations. A lot of English learners have this problem that when they try to speak, they get stuck, they forget words, they don't know what to say. That's a very big problem, and that's because they're not able to think clearly in their situation. They're not able to think clearly in conversations, and that's because they have not done some sort of mental practice before they start their conversations. Writing in your journal is one of those things. When you do it every single day after like a few weeks, you get these benefits. You're able to think more clearly in conversations. As a result, your fluency improves. What should you write about in your journal? You can write about your goals, you can write about your daily activities, you can write about how your English learning journey is going. If you don't have any topic to write about, just write about your day. What did you do during the day? How did you do your tasks, and how do you feel about them? And what will you change next day? Use these questions or these prompts to write in your journal. This should take you like 10-15 minutes. It's not a lot of time, but the benefits are amazing. The next habit is to start watching a TV show. We learn a language through acquisition. What that means is when we were kids, we listened to our parents a lot. And that's how we copied their language, we imitated their language, and that's how we learned our native language. And that's how basically you learn English as well, or any new language that you try to learn. We just learn from the environment. We learned by being in the environment of our native language, and we can create this same environment for our English if we want to learn it. In my opinion, the best way to create an online English learning environment is by starting a TV show. Now you can watch movies in English as well. I'm not completely against it, but the reason why I recommend TV shows is because they're long. They keep you consistent. So with a movie, you watch it for like 2 hours, and then you watch another one like after 1 week maybe. But with the TV show, once you start it, you may watch like 2 or 3 episodes today, and tomorrow you will do the same thing. You will watch 2 or 3 new episodes, and then the next day, and then the next day, and that's how you're consistent with watching TV shows, which really improves your listening skills. If you want some recommendations, the first one I would recommend you to watch is Friends. I've watched it already 2 times, and it's really amazing. It's like classic comedy TV show. In each and every episode, you're gonna laugh a lot. Another one I recommend is Manifest. It's a good one. Breaking Bad is nice. Some of my friends watched it. They said it was amazing. Suits is a good one. The English in there is like a little bit difficult and more advanced, but it's a good TV show. The last habit that you should do every single day to improve your fluency is to read self-improvement books. I've probably read about 50 self-improvement books, and I can tell that they really improved my English, especially my vocabulary and grammar rules. Also, if you're a bookworm like me, you will agree with me that reading books is arguably more fun and more beneficial for you than doom scrolling on Instagram or TikTok. Some books that you can start with are The Art of Being Alone by Renuka Gevrani. This is especially a book I would recommend for introverts. Second one, How to Win Friends and Influence People, the best book about learning social skills and leadership skills by Dale Carnegie. Third one is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. This is another great book for achieving success in dealing with failures. If you're curious which books you should read, if you're a beginner in English or intermediate in English or advanced in English, if you want like specific recommendations, I've already made an entire video about this topic that you can check out here. Okay, I hope this lesson was helpful. See you in the next one.